Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 30th of November, and here we are on a very grotty day outside, I'm afraid. It's pretty wet, dark, and unpleasant in general, but it's the last day of November, so let's hope for some more exciting weather as we get into December. You never know if we're going to get a white Christmas or not, but people can start thinking about that from tomorrow onwards. And obviously some of you will be opening the first window of your advent calendars, so hope you get a nice treat if you do have one. I want to say a huge thank you because I've seen so many people already posting their letters into the postbox, and don't forget you've still got today, tomorrow and Wednesday to complete those letters. I think we're going to make some people very, very happy. One or two parents were asking me whether they should send a photograph onto Google Classroom of the letter as well as posting it in our postbox, and that's fine. You can do, you don't have to, but you can do. Mrs. Felipe's has now entered pretty much every assembly in the last couple of weeks, so I'll go down and speak to her in a minute. But I just want to carry on and say thank you so much, because I've got a great feeling that these letters are going to be absolutely brilliant. So well done to you, and well done for being really thoughtful as well. Now, let's talk about some 25 house point certificates. So we've got some 25s from last week that have been counted up, and a couple of 50s. Should we start with the two 50s? We have got two children, Blaze born in the Maples class and Alana Buswell in Oaks class. Congratulations to you, hitting the 50 mark. Only 4 children in the school have got to 50. I wonder if there'll be some more before Christmas. I'm sure there will. We are getting through these certificates incredibly quickly. Let's go on to the 25 house points. So we've got, in the Oaks class, we've got Bella, Bethan and Georgia. Congratulations to you three. In Cedars class, we've got a few here as well. We have got Maisie Presgrave, we've got Willow Felipes and Owen Sims, all with 25 house points. Fantastic work, well done to you three. And we've got 4 from the Redwoods. Here we go, let's have a look. We've got Henry Willerton, Sienna McCartney, Alistair Harness and Edward Gisby. Smashing stuff, well done. That's a lot of people to give a certificate to, but it's not just children that we're going to give certificates to today, because the County Council, Lincolnshire County Council, have also got a very special certificate for a member of staff, and I thought you would like to share that with us in our assembly today. I'm very proud to be able to give Mr. Flynn the 30-year certificate for his service to teaching. And I've got it here. It's a certificate of recognition for such grateful appreciation of his dedicated service to the teaching profession. Mr. Flynn has been a teacher in Lincolnshire for 30 years, and what a lot of classes have had the brilliant benefit of having Mr. Flynn as their fun, exciting and enthusiastic teacher. Think of how many children that is. And when we talked about this as a staff just recently, it all made us think about our very first class that we ever taught, and some of the classes along the way as well. So it's made us all feel a little bit nostalgic, but what a huge achievement, and we should be really proud of Mr. Flynn. So I thought you'd be happy to celebrate that alongside Mr. Flynn. Okay, now we're going to jump on to Neela's jar. So what's in Neela's jar today? Let's have a look. Okay, here we are. It's a long one today. All right, let's read it out, shall we? If you break me, I do not stop working. If you touch me, I may be snared. If you lose me, nothing will matter. That's quite a tough one. What am I? So I'll go back through the words again. If you break me, I do not stop working. If you touch me, I may be snared. Snared is a grown-up word for caught or trapped. If you lose me, nothing will matter. What am I? Let's have a look on the back, shall we? Lovely. I am a heart. Oh, that's really nice. That's a good one. Thank you, Neila. Okay, now, We have had a few more puns sent in, and I'm going to pick one, Reese. One of these was good for our assemblies. The other ones are great, but they're just a tiny bit too grown up for some of our younger children in school. So I'm going to stick with this one. It's a very, very old-fashioned one, and there are two answers. I'll give you the one I knew as a child and the one that Reese Sharman in Cedars said as well. So, what do you call a man with a spade on his head? You call him an ambulance immediately. When I was younger, the answer was Doug. What do you call a man with a spade on his head? Doug. But Reese has got a slightly different answer, and there are a few other puns and jokes like that. Well, thank you very much, Reese, for sending that one in. Okay, also, we've had an update from Isabella Lovelace. If you remember a long time ago in one of our assemblies, busy today, if you remember a long time ago in one of our assemblies, we had an announcement that Isabella won a competition where she designed some goalkeeper gloves. Now, it's taken all these months for the gloves to arrive, but not only that, if you remember, Isabella's plan was to sell some of the gloves, the pairs of gloves, and then donate that money to the NHS for all their hard work. And Isabella has still got that plan. So I'm really impressed, and if you have a look at the gloves, they are just absolutely awesome. It looks so amazing when they're actually there as a real pair of gloves. I can imagine a goalkeeper wearing them in a match in the coming weeks. What a terrific achievement, Isabella, and you should be really proud of yourself. You've had to wait a long time, but it was worth it. Thank you very much. Now, we've also got a couple more Christmas cards here, and I have to say, well, one's a Christmas card actually, and one is something slightly different. I have to say, Isabel, you in the Oaks class have made this absolutely brilliant pop-up nativity book to share with us. You had lots of fun making it, and I'm going to let this one play out so that parents and children can see the wonderful messages of the nativity story that you have delivered to us, and now you're an author, so you should be really proud of yourselves. It's absolutely brilliant. So have a look at that one now. Wasn't that beautiful? And Isabel's made that really, really beautifully. She's made it carefully. She's taken care in the artwork, and the handwriting's neat. It's a really lovely, well thought out version of the Nativity. So congratulations and thank you for sharing that with us. And then finally, from this section, a great Christmas card from Alex White in the Redwoods class. And if you have a look at this, the production quality in this video is absolutely through the roof. When I showed my children at home, they thought that it was the Warner Brothers studio tour because there was a bit of green screen going on. There's had everybody in the family that's been involved, including the dog you'll see in a moment. What a terrific video. Have a look at now.
Hi everybody, I just borrowed Santa's sleigh for my Christmas message. I would like to wish all my friends and everyone in the Sibsey family a very Merry Christmas.
Woof, and from me too.
Right, I better get the sleigh back to Santa before I notice it's missing. Right, come on Tommy, let's go.
Have a very, 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 Merry, very, 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 very Merry Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas.
Okay, that is something else. So what a lovely message. And Alex, I think you do a terrific job in delivering it as well. So congratulations. And we now move on to our final two parts of assembly then. So we've got our flags for the week. Now, 4 new flags. So I know that some of the children who are learning these flags as well, we'll be waiting to see which new 4 we've got. Okay, so we've got, let's start with Rwanda. Rwanda is one of the 54 countries in Africa. If you have a look at the flag there, we've got a nice big blue section on the top and then a yellow and green section underneath with a star in the corner. Then we move on to Israel. Israel, which has the Star of David in the middle. And then we move on to a country in Europe, Spain. If you look at the Spanish flag, you can see the 2 symmetrical red top and bottom parts with the yellow part and then the regal symbol in the middle. And then finally, we have Peru. Peru, again, with another very intricate symbol. If you look very closely, you can see lots of different plants and animals within the middle symbol of the Peruvian flag. So there we are, one from South America, one from Africa, and we've got one from Asia, which is Israel, and one from Europe. So we've got 4 continents today. Okay. And then finally, I think this leads me to the last part of today's assembly, which is to talk about our emotion card for this week. So we're going to talk about the feeling of joy this week. What a lovely word joy is. Joy is such a nice word that, in fact, some children can be called Joy. It's a child's name. It's an adult's name as well. It's a name for a little girl. So I'd like to say that if you do feel joyful, you know it's one of the best feelings. When you have a feeling of pure joy and happiness, you can open your heart up and you feel absolutely brilliant. Now, I want to know, maybe you stop the video at this point in the classrooms and think about what brings you joy. What are the things that bring you joy? I'm going to tell you one of mine at the moment. Every Friday night when we go home, my children bring their mattresses down to the living room and we have a sleepover. We all have to sleep over on a Friday night. We have snacks and we have treats, and then we watch a film. So most recently we watched one of the Indiana Jones films, and then we had a sleepover, and on Saturday morning I wake up with a stiff back and the children have had a really nice sleepover. But that brings me joy because we're all together on a Friday night, and that's something that I've been doing. But what about you? What do you do that brings you great joy? And then the next question that I've got to ask you to think about is, what are your beliefs about life? What makes you feel happy when you think about something that you might not have now, but you might want when you're older? What are your beliefs about living a joyful and happy life? And then how does joy touch your life? Because it's very easy to say, well, I can't think of anything, but actually there are so many times in a week where you can think of being joyful or happy, or something that brings you great pleasure. So joy is the feeling this week. Let's try and remain joyous and joyful as we go along, and have a lovely Monday.